Good morning to you. This is the January 24th, Thursday edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East here with you. The radar is still fairly quiet across the area, though. Let me turn on the composite data and show you that we do have a little bit of snow through parts of Virginia and West Virginia and even down into northeastern North Carolina. This is as we have our fresh surge of cold, dry Arctic air moving in. And even around the Triad and the Triangle regions, can't rule out a couple of brief flurries this morning. But the big story is that we have a fresh surge of cold, dry air arriving. That's what it looks like here across the eastern U.S. Big sprawling Arctic high pressure over the Great Lakes. That'll be blowing into our region today, and we'll have a stiff north wind and temperatures really not climbing at all today. And it's going to be a very cold, blustery day. Now notice that low pressure there in northeastern Texas. It's our next little storm system that rolls in tomorrow. But again, as far as today is concerned, we'll call it partly cloudy. And there will be a lot of cold air settling back into the region. Now we have a winter storm watch in effect. Looks like that graphic got a little messed up for me, but the blue counties there, that is where you have a winter storm watch in effect from North Georgia, the northernmost upstate of South Carolina there, and parts of the mountains of western North Carolina, northwestern South Carolina, eastern Tennessee. That's where you have a winter storm watch out in advance of this incoming system. Now, there's your temperatures this morning. 31 degrees in Greensboro, 32 in Raleigh, 40 in Charlotte. This is really about as warm as we're going to be all day as this cold air begins to blow on in. Now, our dew point's a little bit higher this morning, just ahead of this fresh surge of cold, dry air, but those dew points will again be dropping as the day and night unfold ahead. Now, here's what it looks like on Stormcast as we go through today. Pretty quiet stuff, but then we get into tomorrow, and there comes that next system beginning to march our way. Stormcast now picking up on the precipitation chances with this system. So let me just kind of show you a Stormcast here, or the RPM modeling. This is going to be valid tomorrow at around 11:30, and that pink color, that is where it's indicating ice potential. That kind of orangish pink, that's where it's indicating sleet, and of course the blue shades are snow. All right, a little bit further out in time tomorrow. This is 3 in the afternoon Eastern time. You see that precipitation spreading into the Carolinas. Some sleet for the upstate and northeast Georgia. Some ice a little further south into Georgia. And then we go out a little bit later into tomorrow right there. This is out at, let's see, that'll be 6 o'clock tomorrow in the evening. That's when we begin to see the precipitation spreading further east into the Carolinas. And you notice the RPM modeling actually indicating the snow staying the predominant precipitation type across most of North Carolina. And finally, that system presses even further to the east. There we go. As we get deeper into tomorrow evening. Now, this is what the RPM spits out for snow accumulations. Not much. As I've been indicating, this is going to be a low kind of a QPF event, a low precipitation total event, but it could be a fairly high impact event due to very cold ground conditions and the probably easy propensity for the precipitation that falls to cover most surfaces, including roadways. Now, let me show you some of the other modeling, and then I'll kind of spell out some of my thoughts for you. This is the latest European model as the system is moving through. And there's been a decrease in the amount of precipitation on the European from some of the previous runs, and here's the reason why. This was the European, the upper levels from the 0Z run yesterday. And I want you to key on this disturbance around the Great Lakes. Now look at the latest run and notice that disturbance is a little bit flatter, a little bit more progressive, less digging, and so just a little bit of a decrease in the precipitation amounts. Okay, here's the GFS for the precipitation as it pulls on through. And finally, here's the NAM. And even the NAM is backed off a bit, not much, but a bit on the precipitation totals. Now, this is what the NAM looks like at 21Z tomorrow, up at 5,000 feet. Your freezing line at that point in time is a little bit north of I-40, so the NAM has gotten a little bit warmer on some recent runs, but your surface temperatures below freezing in all the favored cold air damming areas. Let's see, there's your freezing line down to the upstate of South Carolina and even northeastern Georgia sub-freezing. Now you go 3 hours later as that precipitation continues to advance eastward. This is out at 7 o'clock in the evening tomorrow. Your freezing line up at 5,000 feet in northernmost North Carolina and your freezing line at the surface is still down into the northernmost parts of northwestern South Carolina and a good chunk of the foothills in Piedmont of North Carolina. So that would be indicating that wintry mix scenario. Now here's the HPC probabilities. I just throw this out there just to kind of show you what they have out. This is the probabilities of 1 inch of snow. Okay, here's your probabilities of 4 inches of snow. And then as far as ice is concerned, here comes the probabilities of a tenth of an inch of ice. And finally, there's the probabilities of a 1/4 inch of ice. So let me kind of go back to, I guess I'll just pick this view right here and kind of spill out some of my thoughts. Looking through some of the Buffkett soundings, and I'll say this, the SREF modeling, the short range ensembles, are a little bit colder than the NAM. So I still think really, say roughly the I-40 area onto the north, it's probably still going to be mainly snow, especially for the triad. We'll say mainly snow, maybe some sleet mixing in. South of I-40, places like Charlotte, I think you're looking at sleet ending in some freezing rain. And the same deal for the northernmost parts of the upstate of South Carolina, mainly freezing rain, I think, when you get further down toward North Georgia. And again, this is not going to be a huge crippling winter storm, but it could be enough certainly to cause some travel difficulties by tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening in many spots across the region. The ground is very cold. Now the air is dry, so you're going to be looking at the radar tomorrow morning. There's going to be stuff all over the radar, but most of that's going to be evaporating before it hits the ground. Probably the precipitation for the Carolinas holding off until at the earliest late morning, the earliest late morning, but I think mainly for the Piedmont it's going to be an afternoon event tomorrow. So again, we'll see how this unfolds. Still working on these ideas in terms of exact amounts of accumulations. We're talking about, a tenth to 2/10 of an inch of liquid equivalent precipitation. So a lot of not a lot of wiggle room to work with these amounts, but it could be maybe toward the Virginia border, a 1 to 3 inch type of snow for the triad, maybe an inch, maybe 2, depending on how much sleet mixes in, and then you're dealing with some type of mixture of sleet and snow down around Charlotte into the upstate in North Georgia. All right, that's it for right now. Everybody have a wonderful day, and God bless.